Thanks to the support as a channel member, Peter Waleshko. Yeah, that's right. We're leaving the Leamington shirt there for another day as another reminder. Leamington meetup this Saturday. It's going to be super duper. That's how we're describing it now, apparently. Hello and welcome to Club 5, Part 15 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our final Champions League group game against AEK. But that's just your appetizer. Your main event today is a very important La Liga game away against Atletico, who are ahead of us in the table, as are Barcelona. Since you were last with me, we've only played a few games. As you can see, we lost one of them. In fact, that was on the last episode, wasn't it? It's a very strange thing. When I'm on an episode, we get absolutely battered. We beat Valencia before the last episode, and we were fine. And we've also since thumped Getafe and Betis with no problems at all. The league table is looking like this. If we beat Atletico, we go above them. We could potentially still be top of the table at the halfway point of the season. And it just doesn't feel like a season where we're like that. I think it shows, I have to remind myself of this a little bit sometimes. It shows just how good this team is, that even when it feels like things aren't going our way, we are still probably going to win the league. And we're doing really well in the Champions League. I talk about this team not being as good as the Norwich side. I suspect, and we'll find out for sure in the LOLLUJO Cup at the end of the year, I suspect this squad, this team is already quite a bit player for player better than the Norwich team. I just don't necessarily notice it. But we do need to beat AEK. Because we want to finish top of the group. Feyenoord will have to do us a favour against Leipzig, but Feyenoord have picked up 7 points. They are the home team against Leipzig, so they definitely have a chance to do that. So we do still have a possibility of finishing top of the group. While we're talking about Norwich, should we see how they're getting on in the Premier League? Now, Manchester City have lost all of their strikers. So Premier League holders are actually Chelsea. Watford, who we know had a tycoon takeover several years back, are finally starting to make the most of that and are up in second. Norwich there in third place, probably still playing my boys out of position. Yeah, I mean, it's hideous. It is hideous. Schultz is now an out-and-out left winger. How has that been allowed to happen? That is disgusting. Pedro Luis is now a natural right winger. Disgusting. And Delgado still doesn't play for Real Madrid. Not acceptable. Oh, Bayern Munich. Right. This is something that always frustrates me about Football Manager, because we have been quoted this price range. We offered £150 million for him in the summer, and it was just flat out turned down. How much do you want to bet that in January or at the end of the season, he goes to Bayern Munich for 80 million? Because that's just the way it seems to work. There's not a chance we could ever get him. They'll get him for less than, I imagine, he'll go to Bayern for less than I paid for him when I was at Norwich. That's just the way Football Manager works sometimes, and it's infuriating. Right, let's go and play AEK. Oh, I've kind of got that off my chest. You can see we are still struggling a little bit with the fitness and suspension and holiday problems that we've got in our back four. A few of you have asked why I'm not playing the guy who's on loan from Wolves. He's not actually registered in any of our squads because I didn't think we'd need to use him. So probably should have registered him because we're having to play a Mikkel Tadzi who's only fit to play 30 minutes. Oh, we can't play him. Where's Florentino? We're going to start him at left back today. He's obviously not a left back, but needs must. We are in a desperate situation. We're not going to play Speyer back there again. Florentino at least is a left winger, so fingers crossed. In this team, against opposition like AEK, the fact he's a left winger should be enough to allow him to perform in that role. So we've got Silva in goal, a back four of Florentino, Morales, Mikhailov, and Rafalski. Morales, by the way, who now earns £97,000 a week and has finally turned 17 after being 16 years old forever. But he's now played enough matches that his extra contract pennies have kicked in. Imagine earning 97 grand a week as a 17-year-old and starting week in, week out for Real Madrid. He's going to be one of the greatest players in history. Has he got any taller yet? No, still only 5'11". That's what he needs to sort out if he wants to be a long-term centre-back for us. He needs another 5 inches of height. Carlos Vitor at the base of the midfield. Bell and Delgado ahead of him. Then Lopez behind Adeyemi and Damian. Damian, of course, still not scoring goals. Hopefully, I mean, the one competition he has been scoring in this season is the Champions League against the lesser teams like AEK. Now, the problem is he looked outstanding. His one really good game for us was match week 2 of the Champions League this season, where he got 2 goals against AEK inside the first half hour, looked utterly unplayable, then went off injured before half time. So hopefully he can recapture that kind of form against them again, but this time not get injured and use that as a confidence booster to take into La Liga, take into that Atletico game that we've got coming up in the second half of the episode, and start being for a minute there, I thought that was Damian injured again. It's not, it's Adeyemi. It's not ideal, but I mean, long term, I guess the strike partnership is Manso and Damian. That could be Adeyemi's last kick for us, because if he digs his heels in and decides he wants to leave, he's refusing to sign a contract extension. It makes more sense to sell him in January, similar to what Manchester City did last season. It makes more sense to sell him in January, get £5 or £10 million for him, rather than letting him go for free at the end of the season. So it might be that we're letting Adeyemi go in the very near future. We've got £30 million in our kitty as it stands. If we get another 5 or 10 for him, that's 40 million then, potentially 35 to 40 million. Once you factor in installments and stuff, that's a £100 million striker we could go out and buy in January. If we can find a £100 million striker that would come to us. And that is, that's easier said than done, because all the real top tier strikers are way over £100 million. £100 million striker seems like, yeah, bargain. They should be the best striker in the world. Like with Delgado, when we got him for £100 million, best striker in the world. Pedro Luis, 36 million, was outstanding. I think because we're Real Madrid, we just have to pay more. I think they're the rules. £100 million of a striker for us is a backup striker. As you saw with Bayern Munich, with Damian, they spent 120 million for him and never intended to use him as their starting striker. They signed Erling Haaland at the same time. So I don't know if 100 million is going to be enough for us to get the striker that we dream of, but we will try in January, and then we will try again in the summer, and eventually we will get that missing piece of the puzzle, and from then on, we will be unstoppable. Delgado's given the ball away there, and it's not, I mean, he's done well to win it back. He shouldn't really be giving it away there, though. Damian, ball over the top for Damian, surely. No, his form is still non-existent. He's got his head in his hands, and rightly so. He should be doing better than that. He needs to be better than that. A corner from Delgado is headed clear, and AEK are doing an excellent job at the moment of just playing spoiler. They've got all their men behind the ball. Leipzig have gone 2-0 up through Keegan Shrivers. If you remember Keegan Shrivers, he's the striker from Arsenal from a few years ago that we very nearly signed for Norwich, but you all told me wasn't good enough, so I pulled out of the deal. In the long run, I guess he wasn't as good as Pedro Luis or Delgado, so reluctantly, maybe you were probably right, but he is now scoring goals for a Champions League team that are better than us and are going to win Bundesliga. So he turned out all right in the end by the looks of him. We'd certainly take him now. We'd swap him for Mansa in a heartbeat. How are we still not winning this football match? It is infuriating. Oh, my word. The game is testing me in this save this year. Remember last year's non-League Legend when we just won everything really easily? That was nice, wasn't it? I enjoyed that. Oh, this is just... Oh, it grinds my gears sometimes. But patience is rewarded, as we've shown in the Twitch save with Leamington. If you're not watching me on Twitch most afternoons, goodness me, you should be. The highlights are on LOLLUJO too, a couple of days after every stream, but we are doing really rather well with Leamington. I won't spoil it any more than that, but you should be going to watch that, as well as coming to watch Leamington with me at the weekend in real life. And if you are interested in Twitch, as soon as you're done with this video, head over to twitch.tv/LOLLUJO, where you'll find I am streaming right now, because we're doing the network game a little early this week. So I'll be streaming with Dr. Benji, Zealand, and Work the Space. And we'll be knees deep in network game action right now over on Twitch. Don't go... Watch the end of the video first, you monsters. Then go over there. You got Atletico coming up yet, and we might be about to score a penalty. We are... I mean, give this to Damian. Whatever you do, give Damian the penalty. Penalty awarded. Right, pause. Damian. He is so desperate for a goal. Please let him score the penalty. he'll miss it now, won't he? And then we'll miss out on the 3 points. It is Damian to take the penalty. Oh, we finally have a goal out of Damian. Oh, this is, look how violently he's celebrating. That might be all he needed. That might be all he needed to turn him into the striker we thought we were buying when we spent all that money on him. Please let it be a Feyenoord back to 3-2 against Leipzig. If they can find a winning goal, it probably still isn't enough because Leipzig have got a better head-to-head with us. So we finished second regardless. But, you know, at least we finally got Damian the goal. That could be a real turning point for us. Adeyemi's out for 3 to 4 weeks. So if he does go in January, we probably have seen the end of him. Delgado is the latest one to get tired and need to go on holiday. If we had a bigger squad, or to be fair, if we had less injuries, we would be rotating more. We wouldn't have to keep sending on holiday. The rotation is being forced upon me when they get too tired to play, rather than me being able to do it proactively, which is not ideal. And now we've lost Adeyemi as well. Big league game coming up, and 2 regular starters, at least, unavailable for it, that weren't already unavailable. Brilliant. Well, we can add Thomas Silva to that list as well because he's been sent home with the flu. So he's going to be out for the next couple of weeks, meaning the return of Javi Carrera. We're not sure if he's the brother of the other Carrera. Started his career here at Real Madrid before going to Atletico, where he actually made his La Liga debut before being thrown into their B team as well. Then spent more time in the second tier here in Spain before going to the UAE. And then inexplicably being Bayern Munich's first choice goalkeeper for 2 years. Still don't know how that career trajectory led to that happening, but they soon saw sense. He's ended up back here, where his only game so far has been for our B team once again. So after, 15 years of making his debut for our B team, he now finally makes his debut for the first team in La Liga, and it's against Atletico. It'll be absolutely fine. Mikkel Tadzi can now play 45 minutes of football, but to be honest, we're so desperately low on players that that's probably going to have to be enough. We're going to start him and see what happens. Rafalski is going to be starting at centre-back, which he is accomplished at. So it'll be fine, alongside a midfielder in the shape of Fontaine, and then Speyer coming in at right-back. Mikhailov is tired. Morales is tired. One of them is going to have to come on for Mikkel Tadzi at half-time. We'll worry about that at half-time. That feels like a future Kev problem. And we then got the rest of the team looks fine. Carlos Vitor, the other Carrera, Bell, Bruno, Koulibaly and Damian. I mean, remember a minute ago when I said this team was potentially better than the Norwich team? This is one of those times when it's a real test. Someone like Fontaine playing out of position. I mean, he could walk into Norwich and be the best midfielder there. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he could. Maybe he couldn't. The fact that he can just slot in at the back, lovely stuff. We managed to beat Atletico with this team. It shows how good these individuals are, because so few of them are playing in their natural position. Even Bell, who's just opened the scoring. We signed him as an attacking midfielder / winger. He spent his entire career here so far, 1.5 years, playing as a box-to-box midfielder, because we haven't got one. So he finally gets a game today where he can play as the Mazzala, which is a little closer to his natural position. Still not all the way there, but a little closer. And he's rewarded us with a goal. What a player. I wonder how good he'd be if we played him in his actual position. I guess we'll never know. Atletico on the attack. And we need to just defend now. Just crunch at them. Keep crunch. Not in the penalty area. No penalty area crunching. How many times does this happen? Oh, whenever I ask for a tackle, we always get a red card or give away a penalty. Just tackle them without being a maniac. That's what I mean. That's the unwritten context of me saying get stuck in, but don't get sent off or give away a penalty. I shouldn't have to. Okay, we didn't. It's fine. Good tackle. Excellent instruction following. Good reading of the room. Oh, I felt like that just tugged on a nerve a little bit there. Just a little area of stress that's been getting to me in FM recently. But it remains 1-0. We are top of the league as it stands. So Barcelona, presumably, are losing as well. So this could be a real perfect set of results, albeit we're going about it the hard way. If things end as they are, What an episode. What a recovery episode after the last couple where we've been struggling a little bit. We could find ourselves top of the league and in the knockouts of the Champions League with a half-broken squad of the walking wounded, knowing that the injury crisis can't last forever, and sooner or later we're going to get the first team back, and we're already doing as well as we could possibly hope to do. Imagine how good we'll be with everybody fit and available. It's not going to work out quite like that, although the referee has got his finger in his ear, so fingers crossed this is being disallowed for offside. I've noticed our goalkeeper's wearing bright yellow gloves and a short-sleeved shirt. He may as well be wearing a look at me sign. If he's going to be trying to draw that much attention to him, he should probably make the effort to save fairly simple chances like this. I mean, his hands have gone the wrong way. He's not come out to take the cross, but equally he's not stayed back to make the save from the header either. So he's kind of committed to doing nothing there, and we've ended up conceding a goal as a result of it. We have been comfortably the better team in this first half, but as it happens, as it is right now, we don't really have anything to show for that. Which is, I mean, that could be the title of my autobiography. Comfortably the best, but has nothing to show for it. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Mikotadze's still on. Probably shouldn't be. Koulibaly ends up with Damian, who, of course, now should be scoring for fun now he's got that goal. Bell bursting forward from his Mazzala position. Mikotadze, we are going to take off. We'll give him 10 more minutes. We've just got to push him a little harder because it's a big game. Bell has scored again. I tell you what, playing him in his actual position, who knew the closer a player gets to their actual preferred position, the better they end up playing. I feel like I'm learning something today. Good work from Mikotadze. Koulibaly does well to lay it on for Bell, and it's an easy finish for him, but it doesn't matter how easy they are. Oh, good. Mikotadze's properly broken. Let's just take him off now before that becomes a red injury. Morales has played plenty of time at left back this year, so we'll just bring him on to play left back again. We've re-injured our only left back after he'd already been out for a month. He did create the goal, though. I don't know who we're playing that forward to. I mean, look at him. He's rolling around in agony. Oh, it almost makes me feel guilty for not taking him off at half-time. But then I remember he made the goal that we've just scored, and I'm willing to sacrifice his knee for that goal. Oh, Carrera's done really poorly and given the ball away there. And now we are being exposed for not having a left-back. Fontaine, our midfielder, is desperately trying to get across to cover. But once again, oh, Flappy McFlapperson doesn't know whether he's coming or going when a cross comes into the penalty area. I think this one might have been offside. He does not fill me with confidence when crosses happen. That one is disallowed, but I would be really happy if at some point we could see Carrera just come for a cross and catch the football, because he looks very, very vulnerable from that scenario at the moment. And, you know, this is a football match. Crosses happen quite a lot. And now Carlos Vitor, after being wronged in the first half and not getting to give away a penalty when he went through the back of an Atletico player, has now guaranteed the penalty by doing the same tackle again. And now we look at Carrera and hope he's got a penalty save in him. I mean, at least they're not crossing it, so he's probably got more chance from this. They must have... Oh, they've hit the post! Beautiful... What have I just seen? What have I just seen? Well, there's no accounting for that, is there? Our best player. I mean, to be fair, the ball has hit him. Carrera, what is he thinking? I've actually got tears in my eyes. What are you supposed to do as the manager when that happens? That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. But Bell has gone at the other end and got himself a hat-trick. What a performance today from Bell out of central midfield. The days of him as a box-to-box midfielder might be over, because this is the most outstanding Mazzala performance anyone's put on all year, and it's against the best team in the division, with a team of broken players all around him. I don't know where we fit Delgado into the team without, I don't know, but Bell has been great, and he's got an assist now as well. And Carlos Vitor, the villain who gave away the penalty, has now made it 4. And what an unlikely storyline. We're doing storylines again. What an unlikely scoreline we've got here. We're 4-2 up. There's still half an hour left in this game. Absolutely anything can still happen. This game has been bonkers. But we've got a 10 out of 10 performance out of central midfield from Bell. What a game from him. He has been brilliant. Right, we're going to push Koulibaly further forward. I think we have to take Bell off. He's broken. He's shattered. Felipe Lopez is going to come on. And we're going to swap those two over. Bruno can come back into central midfield. I don't want to talk about it. And fingers crossed, we get to hold on. I'm very disappointed in Damian, but we're not going to worry about that for today, because today was the day that Michel Bell became an absolute world superstar. Barcelona have got a goal back, or in fact equalised against Rayo Vallecano, so that could put them back to the top of the table, because I think they've got us on head-to-head at the moment. I'm not sure whether that put them level with us on points, so we might not be top of the league, but we did just go to our local rivals and absolutely spank them with a very, very much second-string side. That'll do nicely. Right. The plan from here. I mentioned before, we've got money to spend. January is fast approaching. We're about to hit the Christmas winter break thing, which doesn't seem particularly significant this time around. So we're probably going to go through that, through January, and come back for the Barcelona game after the January transfer window is closed. I'll probably do what I did last season and just show you deadline day and Barcelona, and then come back for the Champions League after that and do them as, break them up a little bit rather than trying to cram it all into one video. But transfers, will we get a striker? Will I maybe buy a left back? How badly injured is Mikotadze? That probably, he's fine. He could have played on. Oh, that was a stressful episode, but what a performance from this guy. Well, if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.